porch. So we got the ring type doorbell. You want to change the codes on this. You don't want other people finding out when your Amazon packages come. Got the weather cover over our receptacle outlet. This is nice. Weep holes, painted brick. Another receptacle over here. I'll test both of those individually. But right now we're just going to make some tracks around the house. Let's see. Are you sealed on the top? Oh, you don't happen to be? It's sealed on 3 sides, but you won't seal on the top? What's that about? I think that should have been sealed. Don't want water getting into your walls. Okay, we got a little bit of a parge coat around the foundation perimeter. And a parge coat is like a cake frosting. And just because the cake frosting is cracked, it's an aesthetic issue. I decided to put the parge coat around there. Just because the cake frosting is cracked doesn't mean the cake is cracked. And just because the cake frosting is not cracked doesn't mean the cake is not cracked. And where do termites live? In the ground. Oh. What do they eat? They eat dead wood. Yeah. So what's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. It's called a clue. It's called a clue. And then we've got these weep holes around the foundation perimeter, because brick is a very good building material. Just like I spoke to my client about it a little earlier today. This house can burn down, you can reuse the brick. And it's a very good insulator, but it's very porous. So we have weep holes. And most of the time we got a drainage plane behind here. And most of the time the only thing that comes out of here is vapor. But we've got a drainage plane between the actual house, the wooden house, the brick veneer, and there's a drainage plane that goes down between them. That's what the weep holes are for. And we've got other weep holes that are over our lintels, because we have to install these lintels, and they hold all this brickwork up. That's what's supporting the brickwork. It's holding it down. Is this big metal lintel here that has disrupted the drainage plane and created the need for more lintel, for more weep holes. But we don't really need a weep hole over here on the side of our light. You think water can get in there? I do. But water gets in there anyway. I know, it was designed. You know, this region, we knew what we were building with. We knew what we wanted to do. It was designed. But it wasn't designed to have funnels and scoops and other ways for the water to get into the wall. Enough water is going to get into the wall all by itself. We don't have to invite it in. We planned for that. This wooden expansion board, okay, that's allowable. That's acceptable. And they, like wood mulch, are subject to rotting and subject to termites. And there's other ways to do this. But this is the way that was chosen, and this way is not wrong. Okay, coming along here, I wonder what it looks like. It doesn't look like the top of that light. I wonder what it looks like. Well, I'm not even that tall. I'll find out. Well, coming along here, now, I've just got to brag on the builder, because the drainage actually looks pretty good around this house. On new construction, that only happens a couple times a year. We got high soil right here. So let's do that. High soil underneath the electric meter. Gaps in wall around the lights by the garage, the landscaping lights. The carriage lamps were not sealed across their tops. And so because the sealant was kind of lacking here too, between the meter and the electric load center. But the grading and drainage looks pretty good. Comes down and around. We've been having rain. It's not all squishy. The house yesterday was squishy. Moving on along, we got some sewer clean outs here. These are not the mains. The mains are out front, but that's fine. This is the clean out for this is where the water heater discharges to. Hopefully the water heater safety trade discharges too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll be kind of curious to see what's going on at this corner up here. We kind of got a beat up shingle. I'm looking. I'm a looker. I don't think I tried this. Maybe I did. If I did, that's double work. Double work in my field. Rain gutters below grade. Double pane vinyl frame windows. Got a bird on your roof. Now we're going to come over here. It's going to start getting a little bit interesting. Bear with me. Rain gutters below grade. This rain gutter has a kick out, and the butt end is about 1 inch away from the wall. And that's the way it's supposed to look. And then we come over here. We've got a cut out, kick out, and the rain gutter is about 1 inch away from the wall. That's the way it's supposed to look. Okay. You gonna do them all right? That rain gutter is butt up next to the wall. It does have a kick out, but the rain gutter butt in is too close to the wall. That rain gutter butt in, it might be 1 inch. It's hard to say. Or 1/2 inch. But since we're looking at this one, we might as well look at that one too. The house faces north. This is west. The evening light is going to be on your TV. We're going to need a camera pole, for sure. Again, the grading and drainage. Drain right there, so the water. This is called a control joint. Some people call them expansion joints. Call them what you will. In this part of the country, we're not going to have this much brick and not have some kind of movement. So we have control joints like out in the street, those little stripes right there. And hopefully it takes enough pressure, so that it avoids you getting those, cracks, those stair-step cracks in the. And every year or so you should come and check this stuff, because as it dries, it seems pretty pliable. But as it dries, it shrinks, and as it shrinks, it pulls away from the brickwork. And this is not a weep hole. This is a control joint. Those are weep holes. The weep holes should do their job, and that should be enough. We've got pipe over this window. Okay, that's your emergency drain. It's your emergency drain for one of your air conditioning systems. You got one on the other side. So when water's coming out And you look out the window and you see water coming down, called the HVAC tech. That's called a clue. Now we got a louver over here. Stuck louver on east wall. Right there. Now I want to come over here for a moment. This is the vent hood for the kitchen range. For the kitchen range. That's the vent hood. Now, something similar to this in shape and size, but without the flap, should go over the refrigerant piping for your condensing units on the other side. And you'll see that in a video coming up. After the electrical, be furnaces, and then condensing units. It's coming up. It's coming up. So the brick is about the only part of your house that actually grows. You'll never be able to measure it. All right? And it expands and contracts to the weather, humidity, temperature, those kinds of things. Okay? And it stores heat at different, so it stores heat differently. The concrete slab, okay, it takes about 60 years to dry. But they start building on about the first week, because in about 7 days, okay, you've reached 90%. Okay, so it's not shrinking really bad. It's not like putting cotton in the dryer or anything like that, okay? But it's just little by little, it's finally drying. And as it dries, it shrinks. And like the brick, only different, it has properties that allow it to expand and contract based on the moisture in the ground, the rain, the temperature, stored heat, radiant heat, humidity, all those things. So for all these reasons and more, the brick and the concrete are expanding and contracting at different rates all the time. And the pressure usually shows up over here on a corner. Some people call these corner pops. Corner pops, call it what you will. Okay, but you get these little cracks like that. That is not a foundation issue. That's not a foundation issue. It could cause termites to crawl into your house undetected. If this was a wood-destroying insect report, it's not. But if it was, then we would call that out as a deficiency. And if it falls out, that's what holds the corner, the edge is what holds your brick up. So it's not the foundation, but it might result in some movement of your brickwork, but that's it. Looks like I never took that picture I was going to take, so I'll take a picture of the shrinkage crack as well. This is right about where we started.